Oh, all right. There we go. We are live back after a week off. I gotta mute that. There we go. With the comments already coming in. Hey, Marty, guys, love the show. Um, Hello, everyone. What's up, Larry? I don't know whose name that is. It's like a thing, but guys, nice to be here. Tom, I missed you last week. I was in Italy, and
Oh, you didn't miss me that much.
I did. I'll tell you though. ChatGPT, just to go over, and now I'm starting to use Claude too, but it really is amazing. I'm like, here's where I am in Italy. Where's the best pizza? It's like you have to go here. And so I listened, and when I walked in, the people and they were like, "This is the best pizza we've ever had." And then I was in the museum, and I would take pictures of art because I don't know what to do in a museum, and it would not only explain it to me, but it would tell me why I would like it or what I like my personality would be attracted to it. Like this is what Mesh would like about this. I'm like, that's so cool. And then I used ChatGPT this weekend to buy sunglasses. I sent a picture of my face and I said, what kind of sunglasses would look best? And it gave me some ideas. And then I would put in the picture as I tried them on, and it would say, no, 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 closer, closer. And finally, it's like, this is the one. And the only one that it picked was the one that my kids liked. My kids were there, and I kept asking them. They're like, no, no, no. And that pair, they were like, yes. I was like, this is incredible. So I mean,
Greatest search engine in the world. Question is, I'm not exactly sure. I think there's an application in trading for sure. 1000%. I'm positive that it's going to help traders, but I think it's an amazing search engine. AI in general just is an incredible search engine for all the reasons you just talked about. I haven't figured out how these firms are going to, you know, crazy monetize it outside of that. Um,
well, there's no advertising.
well, also the tokens are fairly expensive, and I mean, I'm not exactly sure. I'm trying to figure it out, but I can tell you one thing: all the hype around, oh my God, AI is going to steal your job. That is not the case, and the other hype around AI is going to, there's going to be no developers left. That is not the case. The demand for developers right now is I think it's quite aggressive, meaning the markets are really tight for good developers and the markets are really tight for good, AI technicians. And so I'm not seeing, I mean, maybe my world's tainted or a little bit off, but or skewed, but I'm not seeing it slow down on job creation at all.
Well, I think it would be a different kind of job, probably, but good, a little bit. But like I saw my friend who's an analyst, and he said he was using Claude, and the research reports were is like literally they're getting things done that would take people months in
Oh
minutes.
yeah, yeah. I know there's no question for research and stuff, but again, I consider that almost like a search engine. I those are tough to monetize. Like in years past, if you were a researcher for like a on Wall Street, and you could sell your institutional research for whatever, that market has crashed,
Right.
and there are no real analysts left because everybody can use AI to create anything they want and with instantaneous reports. Like you don't need third party research right now.
I was using it for market strategy when I was away. I said that for the day we were opening down when they it was it no, it was
We
up.
open we open down every day and
No,
then we just rally.
no, last year, like last week, the day where they announced that they had, okay, so the market had everybody leaning. There were two significant days last week when I was in Italy, and I noticed it because I'm trading at 3:30 instead of 9:30 in the morning. So I was in like Dior or one of those stores where one of the girls in my family wanted to buy a purse, and uh, and I'm just sitting on the couch. And I heard they told me they actually put the couches in those stores for the guys, like you go over here, and um,
It's
and so
nice that your family lets you in with them. My family doesn't even let me in. They they leave me, and I'm happy about that. They just leave me in the hotel or wherever I want to go. Yeah, they have no interest in me participating.
so it's like 340, which is the market had opened 10
Yeah.
minutes ago, and the first was the down day where it was when Trump said it was following the tweet where Trump said, "We're gonna go,
Yeah, we're going to
we're gonna
obliterate the end of
end
the
your,
world.
we're gonna
Yeah, yeah.
end your world."
It's the end of
Like,
civilization as we know
yes,
it. Yeah.
yeah. So the markets were trading down, and I bought 60 of the Qs, and I like instantly lost 2 grand, and then I went to up $2,000, and I sold them, and I was like, nice, just paid for the purse, like I'm done, you know. And then those would have been worth. I know you hit me for saying this. We rallied back to positive, so they would have been worth like $50,000, and I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, fine. The next day after the deadline, which really threw me off. By the way, a couple of things we have to talk about with this. Number one, he gives the 10 o'clock deadline, and everybody I think is leaning towards a market sell-off. Were you?
No, because I felt the entire time that he had the peace agreement from Pakistan in his back pocket. That's the only, like, I mean, listen, I don't want to get into a political discussion here, but Trump is the worst negotiator in the history of negotiators. And the only reason he said what he said, end of civilized world, end of their existence, was because in his back pocket, he had the peace, he had the negotiations. And so, and that's what the market figured out in about 3 seconds. And that's why you saw that rally. And so I think we've begun, and look at today, same thing. This is news you cannot use. Last night S&P's opened down 70, now they're up 30.
I
As we
write
do
that
this
down.
100 point reversal, you cannot start thinking that you can use that news unless you're a contrarian. I think this is personally, Adam. I think this is a buy the rumor, sell the news. So I think what's happening right now, and this is a really bullish time of the month, which is April expiration. This is OPEX April right now. Super, probably the most bullish expiration cycle that there is. So I think that this is all goes in line with what's happening over there, and I think that they'll, whatever kind of extension to the ceasefire, whatever agreement they'll reach, whatever. I think until there is a full on, hey, this thing, we're done now. That's when the market will sell off. Because I think the market's riding this wall of worry. It loves to do that. It's the pure contrarian play. It freaks everybody out every time. It's literally the opposite of news you can use.
First of all, I like that. News you cannot use. It's kind of like
News you
that. You're
cannot
like,
use. Yeah,
news
yeah.
you
I mean,
cannot
it's
use.
yeah. That's all it is. And I think that listen, we talked about this morning. We're a couple of ticks away from all time highs. Like we're whatever 2%, 2.5%. I mean, it's nothing.
It's crazy. So I was leaning towards disaster. I was like, this is going to be a crazy war. Market's going to be down. I believe the hype. I didn't make trades based on it. I just kind of went to bed thinking bad
Sure.
stuff was going to happen.
Well,
And
you
then,
always think that when you're on the road traveling because you think you're going to miss it.
yes,
Yeah, yeah. I know. I
100%.
got that
A
feeling.
100%. And then when it opened up, I put into like I was like, just I'm away. And these are the hardest markets for me to trade. A huge up open is like a disaster for me to try to trade. That's the worst.
Everybody, I
Yeah.
agree. Yep.
So I put it into like chat. I'm like, give me the strategy for this kind of open, and it was good, and it was right for the day. It was like you're gonna know in the first 15 minutes whether this rally is gonna hold or sell off. They're like, if it survives the first 15 minutes, right? They're like, prepare for a bullish day where it trends up all day, and it was right. And it kept me out of trouble because I was like, I'm just gonna not trade the first 10 minutes, and I ended up not trading, and I was like, okay, good.
Well, some really interesting statistics, because we've researched a lot about markets gap up opening and gap down opening, and there is a significantly greater chance of a market that gap down opens, that opens gap down to rally back, than there is a market that gap opens up to sell off. Like if you're talking about one of those like 1 or 2% reversals, like gap opens with a gap of 1% higher or lower, there's a much better chance, and the same thing with 2%, there's a much better chance that a 2% down gap or a 1% down gap closes up on the day than a 1% up gap or a 2% up gap closes down on the day. And it's just a really interesting statistic. So if you're gonna fade a market, you're usually better, fading the down openings than the up openings.
Which makes complete sense because historically the market goes up
Yeah.
over time.
Market over the last 10 years, the market's gone up about 58.5, 59% of the time. Last almost 15 years, it's almost been 60-40, whereas historically it's been 53-47. But for the last, really 15 years, it's been, 58.5% to, 41.5.
Right. And the day last week where we opened down was the day where they gave you a chance to buy. Were
Yep.
you buying there or selling
No,
premium? No?
I did sell some premium. I did not buy anything. I nibbled. There's a couple stocks that I thought got cheap, but it was nothing like I didn't buy any indexes. That's for sure.
Okay. And then those were two significant moves. Like now any kind of move is 1-2%, which is crazy because that's a significant move for a day.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, we moved 100 handles in the S&Ps from last night's opening to where we are right now. So
That's the
that's
one I was
100.
like talking about. Yeah,
Yeah.
so then last night we had again negative news, and now we have the news you cannot use, and it looked like it was gonna be a down open, and nobody was having it. Nobody had no chance to buy that dip if you're not a futures trader.
No, I mean, they stayed down all night long. I mean, they were down, they opened down 70. By the time I went to sleep, they were down 50. And then when I woke up this morning, they were down 44, 45. So they didn't really move the whole night. I did nibbled buying some bonds, but I did not do anything else. And it's kind of a nothing trade. But I didn't buy anything else last night. I didn't want to buy S&Ps.
Um, oh, sorry. I just want to make sure because I muted this. Okay. Oh, so I'm sorry. I'm still gonna know this. I guess I paused it instead of muting it, so I like paused the questions from coming in. So sorry. I'm navigating two screens: the YouTube live and the Zoom, and I realized I messed one up. So
I let everybody know I have the easy job. I don't have to do. I just have to sit here and
right,
look pretty. I just have
yeah.
to sit here and look pretty. Yeah, that's it.
I'm like doing the both screens.
Yeah.
I think that makes it tough to trade though. When you saw everything look weak, you can't buy it because now it's rallied. You don't want to sell it because it's already rallied. And so what do you do? What do you do now here? Like you said, sitting at a point where we can make a run for the highs.
Yeah, I mean, I'm my my intermediate term strategy here, outside of just like the trades that I'm putting on, my intermediate term strategy is to wait for a very sharp rally, which I'm hoping we get this week. And, listen, we could have a sharp sell-off too. I have no idea. But I'm hoping we get a sharp rally into the end of the week. And then I think it'll be a really interesting selling opportunity up around 7,000 in the S&Ps. If that doesn't happen, because I'm not going to be long, I'm just going to wait for a place to short it. But I do think that there's isolated, stocks out there that on a relative basis are cheap. So I think there's plenty of stuff there's plenty of stuff you can sell. If you really want to find some stuff to, like some puts to sell or some premium to sell, I just think there's plenty of stuff out. Volatility is still in the stratosphere. It's still almost 50% above norms or 40% above norms. So there's plenty of good, juicy premium out there. And that's all I've been doing.
It's just, yeah, taking premium on both sides.
Yeah.
Question for you comes from, it's like a username, so it's not like a real name. It says, question for Tom, is software dead?
No, I don't think so at all. In fact, I expect this is a very negative cyclical trend for software. You see today they finally, the sellers gave up in like Oracle, which is kind of one of the lead software stocks. I suspect that IBM and a few other big software names are going to have some pretty sharp rallies in here. I don't like the downside in software anymore. I don't think software is dead. I don't think software will ever be dead. I think software, just like AI, got way too expensive. I think these stocks were way too rich for way too long. But if you look at some of the sell-offs, in some cases, like the case of IBM or something, you're talking about 25%, but Oracle, you were talking 60, 70% sell-off from the highs. from 350 to 135 or something. These are some massive sell-offs or massive drawdowns. I wouldn't sell software here at all. If anything, I like that sector. I don't love the tech stocks, but I like software stocks.
And Oracle is up 11% today. Speaking of
Yeah, I
software.
mean, but again, the stock traded 350 two earnings cycles ago, three earnings cycles ago, traded 350 now, and got down to 137 or something. So it's crazy.
Uh, Lance wanted to know, last time we said TLT, the bonds, they really haven't really moved.
No, they haven't moved. They haven't moved at all. The bonds are still trading just under 114, the actual long bond. Maybe one, I'm not looking right now, but let's say 113.20 or something. It got down to 113.02 last night. They got back up to 114 this morning. Bonds are in a really interesting, they are right in the middle of their range here at 114, which means interest rates are in pick'em territory. They're too Bonds are too low right now to lower rates, and they're too high to raise rates. So they're right in the middle. It's going to put a lot of pressure on the new Fed governor. It's going to put a lot of pressure on that marketplace. But if you wanted to think about one marketplace where I think has the least amount of risk and a really good upside play, it's the bond market. So I like TLT here. I
Ah,
think out of the money puts in there are a good sale, and I like if you trade commodities, I like the futures options in ZB and ZN way better.
sorry. So for TLT, if bond prices go up, TLT
Yeah.
goes down.
If bond prices, no. If so, TLT if TLT goes higher, interest rates go lower.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry, interest rate. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you think interest rates are going to go,
I think they're going to go lower.
you think interest rates are going to go lower?
Well, I think that, if you're going to play, it depends how you want to play this whole war, conflict, all this stuff. My personal play on this is, and the way I think the stock market is the leader, and the stock market is telling you that whatever you think is like the end of the world type thing, it's not happening. I mean, the stock market's saying, hey, you know what? Whatever you think is out there, it's not that bad. But the bond market is saying, not so fast. This inflation thing is real, and not so fast. We're not as confident as the stock market is. But I think if the bond market were to catch up to the stock market, the bond market is cheap right now relative to the stock market. So if I had to choose between the two, I'd rather be long bonds than long stocks.
Long bonds means long TLT.
Yes.
So I guess I misunderstood that because I bought puts. But in answer to Lance, I bought puts because I thought you were saying bond prices, interest rates were you were saying I got it wrong. So
I'm saying bond prices are going to go up, interest rates are going to go down.
right. I got them reversed in my head. But it didn't matter because Lance, to answer your question, what I did was I sold premium against it. Like I bought them like 40 days out and then just started selling the weeklies against it to finance it. So it'll be a small loss. But so if you were to say like over the next 3 months, do you think TLT is at 86.63 right now? You think it could be above 90?
I don't think so, but if you said the next 3 months, it would depend on what the expected move is. I'm not looking at a screen right now,
I'll tell you.
but if you gave me the expected move by June,
Yeah, June 18th, the expected, 291.
okay, so $3.
Yeah.
It could get up there. Absolutely, if that's if the expected move is just under $3, sure, it could get up to just 89 and change. I don't play for that big a move. I play for about 50% of the expected move, but I do think. I mean, listen, it's a nail. The coffin is pretty well closed on Trump, in my opinion, right now. But the final nail in the coffin would be if interest rates rise, and I don't think there's a scenario where I don't think there's a scenario where this administration can survive a rate increase. So I'm just playing the contrarian role, and I think bonds are cheap here. So I think they have to lean on lowering rates, which means bond prices go higher.
Okay.
There's no way a new Fed governor is coming in May or June and is going to first order of business raise rates. I would be shocked.
So selling puts is a great play here
I
because
like selling puts.
you don't
Yes.
need it to go up. You just need it to not go down.
Yeah, you
The
sell puts
TLC.
exactly. If you could sell in ZB, you could sell the 112 puts, they're still rich. In TLT, you could sell the 85 puts, 86 puts, sure. Same
Got it.
thing.
Okay. All right, that was helpful. Now I got uh, Deanna said, questions for Tom and Adam. How can I position myself now to take advantage of the Musk IPO? Ideas on which stocks or ETFs to get into?
I mean, if you're talking, you're obviously talking about the SpaceX IPO, and unless you're unless you're in on the allocation, which I don't think anybody is, who knows who's getting that allocation, but I mean, I don't think there's any way to play the SpaceX IPO unless there's another like related stock that you really like that hasn't had a run up. I'd be shocked if there is. I wouldn't even know. Adam, that's way more up your alley, like, knowing stocks that are highly correlated to that. Um, I,
No, I don't think we're smart enough to know. Not you. I'm not smart enough to know how the allocations are valued inside the ETFs that own them. I'm trading at such a disadvantage there that I'm not going to do it.
yeah, I mean, there's not a lot. I think the new Robinhood Venture Index, which is, I think the symbol's RVI. I think it's RVI. I'm not 100% sure because I've never traded it. But I think that has a little SpaceX in it. Does, but you'd have to check. What's it trading for? Around 25, $26?
What's the symbol? RVI?
RVI. Yeah, like I mean, there's a couple of funds like that.
24. It's 2473 by 2550 light volume.
Yeah. So
Uh,
like funds like that, which have a bunch of pre-IPO stocks in them. This stock was issued at $25. It's still trading at $25, and that stock has like has some SpaceX IPO, and I believe you'd have to look it up. You'd have to Gemini it, as we say, or Chat GPT it. But I don't think there's any way to play the SpaceX IPO itself. When it first goes live, there'll be no options for the first couple of days. There'll be you won't be able to short it. I don't think there's any way to play SpaceX IPO.
okay. I meant to ask you. I just kind of go back to the big futures moves overnight. I've seen two times now where there were significant orders placed around 10 minutes before a major Trump message. Like clearly someone from the government. As a future trader, have you heard about this? Have you seen it?
Sure.
Is it legal? Is it illegal? Like I don't know what the
Well,
rules
if
are.
you're trading on material non-public information, it's absolutely illegal. Now, we've had a lot of debates on this topic, and I mean, they should be able to track. There's so much surveillance. They should be able to know exactly where those orders came from, and they should be able to know who did them, and how. I mean, they should be able to track every single thing about them. The fact that we've heard nothing is kind of suspicious. But I will say I feel very differently about this topic than most people. And there's other people out there, specifically the CEO of and founder of Interactive Brokers, um, Thomas Pettifree. I feel very much in line with him, and I don't usually agree with Thomas Pettifree too much on, we don't think alike in any way, shape, or form, but I do agree with him on this topic. I hate the fact that there's such a thing as what people perceive to be insider trading because I I feel like the way as efficient as the markets are today, and as quickly as information moves, I almost feel like if we opened everything up, all this stuff would go away, because it wouldn't exist. The markets would move too fast, and I think the fact that there's still this concept of, you can't trade on material non-public information, really, it's kind of a little disingenuous because people still do, and they don't get caught. And so if you get rid of it, then everything's free game, and everything will be disseminated instantaneously. So I feel, again, there's a few of us out there that have been around the block a few times that feel very differently about this subject than most others. Like, I'm all for anybody trading anything they want at any time they want to do it, regardless of the information they think they know, because I don't think anybody knows anything.
I would agree with you based on earnings announcements. Like, I think if everyone knew what the earnings were going to be beforehand, it wouldn't make a difference.
Yeah, if
But
everybody knew what the Fed was going to do, it would make.
I don't
We
know
always used to joke. Yeah.
when the president says we're going to end your civilization at a 10 o'clock deadline, and at 9:55 they're like we reached a deal, and at 9:45 someone bought $1 billion worth of futures. That's an advantage.
If that's the case, I mean, that's a criminal act on. Well, I don't think it's the president that says something, but at some point, somebody in the food chain there. I mean, it's simple. It's criminal.
I have one more personal question, random. I don't know if you noticed this. I assume you still trade on Tasty Trade now, right?
Yeah, sure, of course. Yep.
Out of nowhere, I didn't click anything. I started getting emailed every one of my trade updates, and I can't shut it off.
Oh, you can shut it off.
I
Yeah,
went,
I do get an email for every trade I make, and I've been doing that for 25 years. We built that feature at Thinkorswim, and we built that feature on Tasty. You must have clicked on something to do it. You can turn it off.
I went in and I was looking. Now I created a filter because it was. I mean, the other day I had 200 emails.
Yeah, yeah. You can turn it off. I personally like it, so I have that turned on. But you can turn it off.
Okay. And now getting to the user questions. Wait, where did my screen go? Sorry. Oh, there we go. Leading with the software sector today, Net, CrowdStrike, PanW, Palantir. Okay.
Yeah.
Lori wants to know, is that Tom's coffee shop?
This is not. This is just a shirt that a buddy of mine made for me. Iced tea is sick because I drink a lot of iced tea as here. So no, it has not. We do have shirts, but not these.
So what happened? What happened with the iced tea and the coffee with you and Tony?
So Tony and I today did we had a contest to see. He drinks about 5 gallons of coffee a day, and I drink a lot of iced tea. So I said, I know iced tea better than you know coffee.
Okay.
And so we had a taste. We filmed it. It's fun. We had 5 different kinds of iced tea and 5 different kinds of coffee, and all from the same places. So we did McDonald's, 7-Eleven, Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks, and then our own bad coffee. And Tony got all 5 wrong. I got all 5 right.
You got all 5 wrong?
All 5.
The math on that's pretty hard to go over 5, no?
Yeah, I guess, especially because he considers himself an expert. But he claims he never goes to Dunkin' Donuts or 7-Eleven or McDonald's. So who knows?
And you got all 5 right?
Yeah, well, iced tea is easier, I think.
That's still impressive. It's very impressive. So, okay, so now, it's fun. How do you get into those bets? You're just like talking about something, and then was it like on air?
Oh yeah, we filmed it. We're gonna post it. Yeah. We just did having some fun. We're very competitive. We argue about everything.
And recently we were literally just speaking about this before. You had a couple videos that were really widely watched.
Yeah, the last couple of weeks, the last 2 weeks, I posted a bunch of different things on careers and entrepreneurship and business and just kind of just some things. They're pretty motivational, but I also posted one over the weekend on how to choose an online broker, and I'm posting one next week on how to choose an investment advisor if you want one. Like not really how to choose, but just questions to ask so you can weed people out. I like doing stuff like that. So,
And
yeah.
people could see them where can they see those?
They are on my YouTube channel.
Yours or Lost Dog?
Mine, and I think they're also on Lost Dog.
Okay, collaboration. Okay.
Yep.
And yours is just your name, right? For anyone that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, you could just Tom Sosnoff. I think it's Tom Sosnoff Money or something like that. I don't know exactly. I have to find out. But they find them.
They want to know what's your favorite tea from which place?
Well, I have to be partial to our own coffee shop, which is we use a black peach. It's what is it? Rizzi? I forgot. Ricci. So we use Ricci tea. It's really good. And but Starbucks is pretty good too. I mean, Dunkin' Donuts tea tastes like coffee. I think they use the same machine. Um, 7-Eleven's gross, and McDonald's tastes like fountain. Like it tastes like a Coke machine.
You know what I like? I just saw I went with my kids to see Project Hail Mary, the movie, which you probably don't go to the movies a lot.
No, I haven't been to movies in a long time.
By the way, excellent movie.
Okay.
Best movie I've seen in a long time. It was
Oh,
so
cool.
good. Um, and they have like the diet because I don't want to drink sugar, so they have the diet like cream soda there in the movies. That was good.
Diet Dr. Brown's.
It was like a diet, yeah, diet Dr. Brown's vanilla cream soda, and and you get like this supersized glass, and I'm like I could watch anything without when I have that in my hands. It was good.
I remember as a kid growing up, in New York, Diet or Dr. Brown's cream soda was my favorite soda.
Yeah, I mean they had it at yeah, like I forgot the place. There's a place in New Jersey where it was like a yogurt place, and they had that. Oh, it was like a
Well,
Dr.
when
Brown.
we were kids, we used to have, and most people listening, unless you're from the East Coast, you want to, we used to drink egg creams.
Yeah, with
Yeah,
the club soda and the chocolate.
yeah,
Yeah.
and the chocolate syrup and a little milk, yeah, whatever.
I want to leave people with just kind of like a game plan. Um, you know, there's a lot of traders on here, which I appreciate. Like,
Love it, love it.
and um, and by the way, anyone who has questions, you keep them coming. But so so I think what we could say from this is, and this is what we've been saying every time we spoke for the last couple of months, is that the best thing to be doing is collecting premium in this market. Swing trading is much more difficult. Premium collection has been working. It's been working for you.
Yeah, but
So
I've been a little bit. I honestly, I've been a little directional here, and the only thing I've learned in this market, which I probably learned from you, is I have not been as short. Like usually, I lean like a lot of short deltas, and I definitely have not been short deltas here. I'm not long, but I'm not short. So I've been trading much more, like buying stuff and kind of getting out of it or whatever it is. It's relatively short term. So I haven't been short deltas net on balance.
first of all, when you say you learned something from me, I really appreciate that. I wish it wasn't because I just complain about being wrong all the time every time I short the market. Like I literally, if you ever come to my office, it's in my house, but literally it's pieces of paper everywhere that just say don't short the market ever. Like those are
Well,
all
it
my
hasn't it hasn't worked. That's for sure.
no ever like over time. But when it's by the way though, when it is when you had a trade or an idea and it would have worked, it's always monumental because it's the market takes the elevator down and the stairs up.
Yeah.
And I sit here and I find myself like when Trump's speaking on CNBC, I'm like, he could say one wrong thing and you could get a major move and you could be buying puts for 30 cents and they could be worth $4, But they haven't been. And it's been the wrong play still every time. So, I mean, what do we do now? We're in April, January, February, March, April. So it's really just into the second quarter of the trading year. I think overall people would say the feedback I've gotten. I know you're doing well. The feedback I've gotten from most people is that it's been a tough year. A lot of people
No,
aren't.
I can see that because we
Yeah.
really we haven't, we're net down on the year, so we haven't gone anywhere. But yeah, I can see that. And plus people that were long a lot of tech stocks, it's been rough. Sure.
So, do we like taking? And I'm not. You're not on the hook for this trade. I'm probably gonna make this trade. Like if I was gonna trade TLT, and this is like what I like about a trade like this, just so everyone knows. It's a confirmation trade. Like, am I in sync with the market? So you like could put it on, and you would go out to I assume like May 15th from here, right, or a
Yeah.
little further.
No, May 15th.
Yeah. So you go out to May 15th and then you look the expected move is $1.89. So the 30 delta is right what Tom said, the 85. And like honestly, I probably if something went catastrophically wrong, I don't want to
No, no, you just take your loss. I mean, if
Yeah,
it goes,
but I would own it within a certain range. So let's say I'm gonna sell the 85s and buy like the 80s because they're 8 cents. So I would get 47 cents, 87%, 73% probability of profit, 87% it will be profitable at one point. That's the P50, right? That at
yeah,
any given point it will be profitable. Um,
50% profitable.
at any given point it will be 50% profitable.
Yep.
I didn't know that. I thought it was at any given point it will be profitable.
No,
Okay.
50%. So if you're collecting, what'd you say? You're collecting 47 cents.
Yeah.
So there's a 50% chance that you'll make, or there's an 87% chance that you'll make 23 or 24 cents, you know.
So I kind of like doing something like this where I sell 10 contracts. Now it says the max loss is $4,530, which that would be a major move were that to happen. But I'm making like a little over 10% on my money, 73% chance of that. I'll make 470. But what it also does is it kind of slows me down. I just put that trade on. And it slows me down in the sense that now I want to wait and see if I'm right. And over the next couple of weeks, I see is that trade working or not? Are my ideas right?
Yeah, sure.
Right? Is that
Yeah.
is that the whole idea of positive drift in a nutshell? That you
And
just put things on and see if they're working for you or not?
well, in this market, everything's worked for everybody. So if you're short, you wait an extra day, you get the down opening, and if you're long, you wait till the afternoon, and you've been right. So this market's kind of rewarded both sides.
Is Nvidia still a leader to trade right now?
I mean, it doesn't feel like it to me, but the sector rotation among the big mega techs. So like today it's Microsoft and Google's turn. I mean, Apple's been heavy, Moo's been heavy. So there's been a couple stocks, today that are heavy, but the other day, those stocks were strong. So I think the leadership's just been rotating almost every day. I don't really feel like any of those stocks deserve the title of, leader in the clubhouse type thing.
So when you open your screen, this is my last question of the day, and then I have just
Yeah.
one comment. When you open your trading screen in the morning, besides the futures, besides the indexes, what's the first stock you're excited to look at right now, just to see where it's
Well,
at?
well, right now, the two stocks where I have the biggest positions on short premium on are MU. I have three decent sized stock positions with short premium: Meta, MU, and AMD. So those would be the three stocks that I'm looking at, not because I want them to have a big move, because I don't want them to open up or down big.
You just want non-events.
I
No
want
news is good
non-events.
news. No news is good news. Not no news is
Yeah.
news you cannot use. And by the way, Meta surpassed Google today, I think, in terms of advertising revenue. I saw something about that.
Maybe, I don't know. I
Yeah,
didn't
they
look.
surpassed Google, I think, in terms of advertising revenue, or how do you just because you're in the position. Meta surpasses Google in. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't care about the fundamental stuff.
Okay. Okay, forget it. Well, digital ad revenue. They're poised to pass Google in digital ad revenue and dethrone them. So it's up a couple points, which is good. Lori said peach green tea is really good with extra peach juice. Just saying.
She's right, but I don't like it sweet, so I got to pass on the extra peach juice.
Um, all right. Well, this is good because I missed a week, and I feel like
You're
we
back,
covered.
man.
I
You're
feel like we
back.
covered a lot just by speaking a little bit faster. I spoke faster, but because I was excited. But no, this is great, and it's fun to see the audience coming on. I love doing the live shows. We got some things in the works that we're going to surprise people with that will be even more exciting. But I love doing this every week. I look forward to it. I really did miss it the week I was gone. Final thoughts. Last question, just off of trading. We just had the astronauts circle the moon. They landed safely back down. I thought it was really cool to see.
It was.
What were your thoughts on that? Just in
I
terms
thought it
of
was. I thought it was really cool. I'm incredibly impressed by the accuracy of everything.
the
Like
landing within a mile.
the landing
I
within a
thought of
mile.
you. I thought of you on that specific thing. Like,
The timing, I'm impressed with the timing of it all. Like they had it down to like the second, and the accuracy of where like everything. It's amazing how they could pinpoint it like 10 days ago.
I saw the interview where they said how because there's 6 minutes where they go silent on the
Yeah.
entry, And they said how nervous is that 6 minutes, and I mean I couldn't imagine being in that room for those 6 minutes. And he said, of course, and this is what reminded me of this whole conversation. It's like we like data, we like information, and so we're not getting any data, we're not getting information, so that makes us uncomfortable. But it started when it was supposed to start, and then we timed the 6 minutes, and then they came back on, and so everything worked like it was supposed to. And then they landed within a mile of the expected zone, which, if you think about that, it really is incredible.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Right, some of the best minds in the world. You should get some of them on your team. Have you
Yeah.
tried?
I don't think we're as exciting a place to work as doing a moon mission, but yeah.
Or maybe they should get you on their team.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think it's going to happen.
All right, you're the best. Thank you so much. Really appreciate this. Appreciate everyone participating. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon. Thank you for your time, Tom.
Awesome. Thanks, Adam. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.